Welcome to the Luxurious Lounge podcast with Alexis Lorelai. This podcast is basically for people who want to become a billionaire, want to become famous, want the luxurious life, has the dream of becoming rich, famous, and all those things and all those goals. Basically, people who are scared to live a normal life and wasting their lives. So, welcome to the podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you do not miss any future videos and just basically things we're going to talk about, because not only am I maybe saying some tips and things that maybe I've learned throughout this journey, which right now there's nothing at all other than what I've learned from Instagram, from the billionaire side of Instagram, which I don't even know if it's real or not, but there's that. But also the future me. So basically, you guys also get to listen along with me on this journey as well. Now, the journey that I'm going on is becoming a billionaire and becoming famous. That is always something I've always wanted to do. That is always one of my biggest things that's always something I've wanted to accomplish. That was always the goal in my head, was to become a billionaire and to become famous. And for me, there's so many other ways that I get there. There's so many things I have in my brain that I really would like to do. Again, I'd really love to start a business, and I think that would be really cool to start a business. But right now, we're getting the name out there with podcasts and with YouTube. So basically, this is my podcast channel, but I also do have a main YouTube channel. It's called Cheer Nerd. I really would like to change it to Alexis Lorelai here really soon, so we'll see how that works out, but it is Cheer Nerd. And then I also have an Instagram called Alexis Lorelai, and then Alexis Lorelai Reads, because I do like reading. And then we also have, of course, the Luxurious Lounge podcast, so make sure, Instagram, so make sure you go over there. I also do have a TikTok as well, and I think it's A Lorelai or something like that. Let me make sure. I can't remember what my TikTok is. It absolutely do say it's very interesting. I do not scroll on TikTok a lot. My main social media that I scroll through is Instagram. So there's that. Let's see. It is A Lorelai. That is actually what it is. So there's that. That's really, really cool. We're gonna see if we can change it though, but I don't know if I can change it. Okay. So that's basically all of my social medias. Okay, so this welcome episode is basically, of course, giving you an introduction onto this podcast, but also introduction onto my goals and me and all that stuff. So if you have not followed me on Cheer Nerd, basically, okay, so let's actually talk about what my different podcast channels have. So on Cheer Nerd, there's actually there is so much things going on in that channel. We have unboxings, we do book videos, we do vlogs. I really would like to start doing more vlogs. I really do love that content. And actually, a fun fact, when I started that channel, I really was pretending to vlog all the time. And then for some reason, when I started the channel, I did not vlog, I wasn't vlogging at all, or I would vlog the video and then just delete it because it wasn't really good. And I think it was good, so there's that. I think we need to start doing more vlogs on there. And then, of course, this one, is going to be luxurious and all that stuff. And then, and also if you go over there, you also can kind of get maybe more of the behind the scenes, and you can get a lot of, I think you just get a lot of cool content. You actually can see me doing it, see all the stuff that is happening. Anyway, so there's that. And then my Instagram is basically the same exact thing as the Cheer Nerd. My Bookstagram is a Bookstagram. And then, of course, that. So that's what it is. A little chaotic start to this episode, but that's okay. So basically, like I said, this episode is going to be an introduction into the podcast, but also we're going to be talking about my goals and habits I really would like to start, and billionaire habits that I know that people who are billionaires do, so I can, start getting into the billionaire mindset. I can start getting into, I just can start being more disciplined, start being more better, and just becoming the best version of myself, and just really starting to take things seriously. So first off, let's just talk about a big goal. Of course, one of the bigger goals for me is becoming a billionaire and becoming famous. But let's talk about my 2026 goals. So I actually have a lot of 2026 goals, and they basically kind of evolve all around luxury, but not really. So one of my big things is I would really like to hit on one of my social media platforms, hit 1,000 followers, and travel somewhere And also to get like your grades and to get better grades. There's that. I mean, I still get good grades. And then, so basically my main one is to get 1,000 followers on one platform. That is definitely one of the bigger goals that I have. And so that for me, I can actually start getting my name out there and just start kind of like building it so that when I'm done with school, I can kind of go into what I really would like to go into. I would also like to listen to more kind of podcasts, especially now. So what I'll be doing, actually, I do listen to a couple podcasts. I listen to, the most ones I listen to actually are the ones that do help me a lot. And so far, they've really, like, just given me that push that just, like, this is, like, something where I want to do and just, like, keeps me motivated. So right now, the podcast I'm listening to that I would hope to keep listening to is A Passenger Princess. And I actually really do like this one. I also, what's her name? I forget, why am I, like, forgetting her name? But I actually really do like her Instagram videos because it's very, like, she's, like, very luxury, and it's, like, it seemed like she started, like, I don't know, like, how to describe it. Passenger Princess, but basically so the person is by Isabel Lorena. Sorry if I said your name wrong. But basically she seems like she was like one of the people who like I don't know actually what I'm trying to say. I actually just like her and just kind of like this, is the life I want, but also a lot of that stuff. Anyway, so that's what I do. And I also listen to the Big Deal podcast as well because I think that's really good. But like, okay, I am just rambling on and I really need to figure out like how to like think and just like, I don't know, I just like ramble. And that's definitely something I do have to say. I do ramble a lot, so just be warned. So, kind of like those are the goals. Again, start listening to more podcasts, just listening to more educational stuff, and also not scrolling on my phone and being on my phone a lot. That is definitely something I really would like to stop doing, especially on social media. Like, I'd rather spend that time, because I always do get mad at myself. So, I play sports. I play basketball and I play lacrosse. And even when I'm not playing sports, like throughout the day, like when I have time, I sit there and go, this is what I want to do. I want to get all these things up. And then all of a sudden, it doesn't happen because I either procrastinate. And it wasn't even me procrastinating. It was me being on my phone. And I also do think I have a mindset to where if I don't get it done, that's okay. And I think that also, that mindset, I think I need to really, really stop. The mindset of if it doesn't get done, it's okay. Because again, that is something that we're told a lot. And I think it's okay for certain things. Like I think if you like, let's say you miss a day, like you shouldn't really like beat yourself really hard about it. But it's also like, I don't know like how to describe it, but I think that's also one of those things where it's like, all I kept hearing was, oh, like you didn't do it, that's okay. But I really would like to start getting into a habit of not going on my phone and actually working on videos, making more things, because again, a big goal that I have for this year especially is posting every single day. And I have failed tremendous at that. And it is really, really bad. And I also think it's like I also don't have like a lot of content inspo, and I think that needs to also kind of like build up. So hopefully we can get a little bit of like inspo for the app, like for whatever, and then for long form videos on my main YouTube. And on this one, my goal is to get an episode and a video up once a week. That is a big goal of mine to start doing. So I think that hopefully we can actually get there and start doing that. And I think that would be very, very much more helpful of a goal. But I think it's also kind of like I also need to stop procrastinating, and I also really want to, there's this saying that I keep hearing and I really would like to start implementing it. If it takes less than 5 minutes, do it right then and there and don't put it on your to-do list. And also I want to start doing one of those things what billionaires do, or millionaires. I've heard like millionaires, what they do is they grab a sheet of paper or they write down somewhere, these are 3 things that have to get done before the day is over. And I think that I would love that. And just like kind of like, start doing that, start getting into that mind, start getting into those habits. Another goal of mine is to get disciplined. And there's like, again, that goes with like habits and whatever. I also would like to start waking up earlier. And I know a lot of people like say, well, whatever. I would like to start waking up earlier, like around 5 a.m. because I think for school, like the timing for school would be very great for me. But I do have to say, one of the biggest problems is I've trained my mind this way, and I don't know if anyone else did this. So I don't press the snooze button. I have an alarm. I have alarms. Like I have different alarms that go from 4:50 all the way down to 7 a.m. And so basically that's 3-ish hours, like 2 hours and 5 minutes. No, 2 hours and 10 minutes of alarms that go off. And I think also because like I'll wake up to every single one of those alarms. I'll wake up to the 4:50 alarm and so then go, oh, I have, a couple more. I have like so much more long to sleep. And I think again, I've trained my brain that way, and I did that since I was like in middle school, like when that wasn't like a goal of mine. But now that it is really tougher to do that, and I really would really like to start getting better into these habits, getting better into these things. So stay tuned for next week if that happens, because I will be starting. Like I started these things and I'm trying to do things and I start. I also do think is I do wake up at the time and I press it and then I sit there and think to myself, get up, but then I fall back asleep. And for some reason I tell myself, get up, yourself in a couple hours is going to kick you because you didn't wake up at the time that you said you would. And I think that's also another issue. Again, another thing is I would like to start saying things, make promises to myself and actually keep them, and not say things to myself that will just be like, well, she's going to forget about it, she's not really going to do it. Again, I would like to make promises to myself that I will actually keep. So, a little bit ramble on my goals. But basically now we're just going to start into habits of billionaires. Habits into things that I want to really truly just start implementing. So let me go find it, because I did look up like billionaire habits, but I really would like to, okay, so I looked up billionaire habits to implement and like how to start implementing them and all that stuff. So first off, one of the biggest things is I want to start to invest in myself. That's like another thing. So here's the thing. My dad has been doing that with me, like investing in me and my sister in the schooling. Great. So we're going to keep that. But also like to into my appearance as well. And what I mean by that is I really would like to start looking like I'm a billionaire, rich and famous. Like the, what was her name? Isabel, like the Passenger Princess host for the podcast. I don't know why I'm like going her name. I'm really sorry that I'm like forgetting her name right now. But she looks like she is very wealthy. She looks like she can own a very big mansion or whatever. That is something I would like to start doing. I would like to start investing myself in clothing as well, like clothing that is going to make me look and feel like a billionaire. That's definitely something I want to do, because another thing I've also heard a lot is if you act like it, if you act like you already have it, or if you act like yourself that you're going to have it, then you will get it. And I also do think that's a very interesting thing, because okay, this can be a little personal and a little bit weird, and I actually really want to know if anyone else does this but me. But there are times where I'll be sitting in class in a quiet place, and basically I'll just be creating a story in my head of being famous, becoming what I want to become. And I mean, I have it right now as me, my age at 16, and I don't have it right now. And that's also another thing I want to do. I want to start acting like I don't have just zero, or like I don't want to just start acting like I don't want to be acting right now like I'm a nobody. I would like to start acting like I'm a somebody. And I know that's like seems very weird, seems very like, what's the word? not pretentious, but like seems kind of like, well, okay, but that's definitely something I'd like to start doing. Like I'd like to start like going into videos and go, okay, I have 1,000 followers and I don't have 400. I think I would like to start doing that, and I think that will also help a lot more. But again, invest in my parents. That's definitely something I would like to start doing. But that's what billionaires do. They invest in themselves, and that's definitely something I also would like to start doing when I get older as well. That is something I hope to do when I get older, is invest in myself, invest in what I need to invest myself into, because my goal is this. My goal is when I'm done with school that I first off take the risk. I really hope that I take the risk, and that I actually do invest in myself, like invest in a mentor, try to find a mentor, try to do that, or maybe even in school, like I can do that as well with my money, kind of doing that. So I think that'd be great. I think it's like now, like take something seriously, like if you want it, go after it. And I mean, it is definitely something interesting, because it is in like sports too, because it is something to where, oh, you want the playing time, go after it. And I do think there's also a very interesting saying that I love hearing, is that be obsessed with it. If you're not obsessed with it, then you don't want it. And I think that's really great, because that is something that is thing, because I think there's also two sides of things, and I think I want to be on the sides where I'm obsessed with it, not extreme with it, if that makes sense. Like I don't want to be an extremist, but I want to be obsessed with stuff. And I want to be obsessed with becoming, and I still am. I have it, and it is something to where I'm obsessive over. So would like to, like I said, start being more obsessive. And I think that's like basically what it was like, saying be obsessive, whatever, but that's a little weird. So habits, there's not really habits, but be creative. I think it's like being like, take the risk, do the things, like kind of not push back or whatever. I think it's also, because this is a note, it says be curious, and then it says I've always started to do this with reasons, like because I've always like technically made this journey, been on this journey of becoming a billionaire, but now I've really taken it seriously. It's such a good thing, and also I'm trying to figure out how I can do it, like kind of start building that up. Oh, I think it like also, another big thing is I've also just kind of trying to figure out how to build this up while I'm still in school, so that, yeah, that's just something I really would like, yeah. Anyway. Oh, I would like to start surrounding myself by better people, and basically what I'm meaning is by people who want what I want, because the thing about it is I don't really find people, like I'm normally surrounded by the people who want the good grades, and to me that's great, but I also would love to start being around the people who actually want the business, who actually want the famous life, who actually want the billionaire life, who actually want the life that I want and the life that I'm chasing after, so that I can, talk to it, because I did say that in those conversations that a lot of people have, I feel a little bit like shadowed, because that's not what I want to talk about. That's not at all something I'm interested in, and all that stuff. And I really would like to just start being there, going like this, I'm going to become a billionaire, I'm going to be famous, and like I would like to have that kind of like a whatever. I think that would definitely be something. That is definitely something I really would like to start doing, is just surrounding myself by people who do. And I've also tried to also surround myself into areas as well. In my like neighborhood, there's like my neighborhood's like a couple sections, or not a couple sections, it's just like selected, but then there's like a part of it where it's like a rich kind of neighborhood, and I will off seasons and whatever, I will be walking around there. But I also really would like to start going up to places that, have a lot of more billionaires, and hopefully maybe I can drag my parents along, or I can just take the car and do that. But that is definitely something I want to do. I want to go into places, neighborhoods, just like basically these things, and just surround myself with this rich life and do that. And also, like, I think it would be right now more beneficial if I maybe also try to like find like connections outside of school as well, that can help me become a billionaire and become famous and all that stuff. That's like definitely something I would like to start doing. And I also kind of just need to figure it out. I also think I need to figure out also how to talk to people, because the problem is I don't know how to talk to people, and it's like that's definitely a very big thing, and I need to like stop doing that. is take responsibility for your losses. I feel like here's the thing, I'm good with this in my head on, I know like when I'm in the wrong, or I know when I did something wrong, or I know like, okay, that was a loss. But I think it's also, my problem is like, I know that when I did it, but I don't learn from it. And I think that is what I really would like to start, like that's what I need to start doing, is I really need to, at the end of every single day, sit there and look at the day and go, what did you make a mistake on? What can you take responsibility for that you did, and then how can you improve on that? How can you do better on that? And I think that would be definitely something there. But I do take responsibility in my head, and I think maybe I need to start taking it more outwardly. I don't know if that like kind of helps with anything, I don't know, but I do take responsibility in my head. I do take responsibility when I do screw up, when I do something wrong, or even in driving. Like I know when I'm in the wrong, and I know when I did something wrong, I take responsibility for it. But I think my biggest thing is take responsibility, but also learn from it. And I think that's definitely something I need to start doing, because the thing is, I make thousands and thousands of mistakes, but I don't learn from them. And I think that's definitely such a big problem, and that is something I need to start doing. I need to start truly learning from them. I really do need to start looking at the situation and learning how can I fix it, what could I have done better, and what can I do better. And I think also another big thing is, in those situations, I fix it in my head, and I make it in my head, like I make the situation in my head the way that it should have gone and the way that it needed to go for me. Not, okay, that's what happened, here's a learning thing, and I don't know, it's a little weird, but that's something I want to just start doing. So understanding the power of leverage is something I need to learn. I really need to learn about this. I really need to dive deep into it. This is something I need to start learning more about, is the power of leverage, and how do I do it, and how do I get there. And that is something I need to start learning. That is something I need to start taking more seriously, is just the power of leverage, the power of accountability, the power of all that stuff. Taking no days off. So here's the thing about it. I have noticed this with a lot of things, is that when I take a day off of something, when I don't do something for a day and I miss one day of it, there's a saying that goes, it says that if you miss a day, that's just a mistake. You miss two, it's the start of a new habit. And I think for me, which is definitely very interesting, is I do go into the second day and I create a new habit of it, to where I do so good for like a week or two. So right now, I am trying to quit sodas, trying to quit drinking a lot of energy drinks, because I do have to say I've noticed that a lot more since I've been driving, that the sodas are the same amount like I always was drinking, but energy drinks, I'm not around my parents. I can get an energy drink when I want, when I'm driving, and my parents don't have to know about it. That is something I really would like to stop doing, especially the energy drinks. So I've been trying to quit soda and energy drinks. And the problem is if I have one soda, I'm going to go and have one the next day, and then the next day, and the next day. So I would really that is definitely something that's a little difficult for me, but I know that is what's going to happen. So just something we need to, that is definitely something I need to start doing in a way of, is also, I also do kind of need to in my head that if I do take a day off, and if there's a cool down day or whatever, that I need to get right back into it, because that's also, I think, another big issue is I do go, and then I have one break, and then I don't go back to it, and I don't go back to what I need to do, or I give myself one day off, I don't go back to it. And I think that's definitely something that is really tough. And also with that is being consistent as well. I am not consistent. So, like I said, with the missing one day is a mistake, choose a new habit, but the thing is also, I'm really, really inconsistent. I'm really inconsistent with my videos, my uploading. I had a podcast before this, and you actually can see a couple other videos, but basically it was weekly chats with Lorelai. And that was what the podcast was. And there's 4 episodes up. I started that channel I started technically this channel, this kind of stuff back, in the beginning of the school year. I don't know. Let me go here to videos. The first episode went up September 4th. And the next one, and then I've had 4 videos up from September and whatever. So I definitely think that is needing that. Again, the consistency is definitely something I need to start doing. And I think for me, another big of the consistency is if I don't take a break, if that makes sense. So like for me, I've noticed that a more typical day for me is that I go to school, go to sports, then come home, and then don't do anything else, and then barely do my homework. I think what I need to do is, I really would like to start doing this, and I need to start doing this, is I go to school. So basically, okay, what I need to start doing is waking up, do a couple of the work, couple of like the thing, maybe film a video, maybe not, like whatever I want to do, then go to school, go to sports, do homework, and then continue on with that, and then don't stop, don't be done, don't pick up the phone, don't pick up social media, don't pick Instagram up till it's done. I'm sorry, my cat is making a lot of rambunctious noises, but that is definitely something I need to do. I need to not take breaks, and that is definitely something to do. I not need to take a break until it's done. Like I don't take a break until it's done. That is something that I need to do, and that is something that needs to happen for me. I also would like to start being more consistent with is also cleaning, like also having a nice clean area, because for some reason, I don't know if I'm the only one who is this, but when I have my room clean, I feel like I made it. Like I feel like I'm a billionaire already. I feel like I made it in life. So that's definitely something I really need to start doing, and my cat's like right in front of it. So if you hear a little shake from the microphone, my cat's tail hit it. Just letting you know. Cannot prevent that. But again, the consistency is definitely something I need to stop doing. Taking enormous risks. Yes, that is something I also need to start doing. And it's not even like I need to start doing. Like I feel like I kind of take risks now, but I hope that when the time comes, when I'm done with school and I'm done with everything, that I take the risk, that I do it, and I actually don't wait, and I don't procrastinate. I don't get the 9 to 5. I right off the bat, right out of college, even in college, take the risk, start doing the things, start building it, even in school. That's definitely something I'm doing. Like right now I'm taking the risk. I'm taking the risk in school right now, where I have the ability to do some things where like I'm trying to get myself out there and famous and whatever. So I am actually taking the risk. Focus on experience versus material possessions. I definitely think is a problem for me. I mean, if you look around, at my room and in my videos, like you see a lot of stuff, especially my videos. I do unboxing videos. A lot of them have Funko Pops and all that stuff. So, and there's a couple like experiences there, and I think the thing is also, I don't know, with that, like again, I would like to start doing experiences. So maybe hopefully this over Christmas break, the spring break, maybe we can get my parents to take a trip up to Aspen, and maybe get a experience there. I don't know if that's going to be able to happen, but we'll see. I also know that's where a lot of billionaires go, so hopefully I can in the reign of billionaires. And then basically the last one is don't do it alone. That is definitely something I have a problem with. I did say I'm one of those people who I like doing things alone. I like being on my own. I like being by myself, and I think that's also because I haven't found the right group yet. I haven't found the right clique yet. I haven't found the right people to be around yet. I haven't found my people. I haven't found the people for me, because I do have to say, I think what I do think is interesting is I'm friends with one person, they're friends with another, and then they become friends, and then they go on their separate ways, and it's basically like that. But again, I haven't found my group, my clique, and I think what I really need to start doing is kind of find the friend, maybe find the boyfriend that actually wants to do it with me and go along with me and actually have big goals, big ambitions, and make whatever. There's also something with dating that I've noticed in a way of those people that the girls say is really, really cute. Like some of them are, but some of them aren't. And I think for me, I have the one of I want to be big and ambitious, and I have this goal, and I have this where I want to go. So it's kind of weird, but maybe we can either find a boyfriend or a friend like that. But those are basically the billionaire habits. But again, other habits, like I said, being consistent is definitely one of the habits I really start getting into. Discipline, and also again, one of the big goals for me is keeping keeping my room clean, keeping my area clean. That is definitely something I do have a problem with, especially because at the end of the week, I get tired, I get exhausted, and all my clothes get dumped onto the side, and then I clean them up. And also, I have like areas in my room that have big clumps. It's such a big mess. So I definitely would say that is something I really do need to start working on, and something I do need to start taking more seriously, taking more just like carefully, is cleaning and keeping my areas clean, keeping whatever. So that's basically it for my goals right now and habits that I want to get into. So stay tuned for next week to see if any of those things happen. So okay. At the end of every single episode, we're going to be talking about goals that I want to do and for the week that's coming up, so that next week I can update you guys on what happened. So I have 3 goals. Here are the 3 goals for the week that I want to accomplish. Number 1, keeping a room clean and getting my room to somewhat of a great place and a great area. That is definitely something I need to start doing, and just like start that. Not clean it all the way, not have it fully done, but have it to some extent. Post at least 7 videos, and I mean every single day. Like post 1 video a day, and then have at the end of a week, have 7 videos. That is a goal for me there. And another goal is to drink more water, to have more water, not to have energy drinks. It's the goal for the week, not to have energy drinks and not to have sodas. So let's see, can we keep those goals? Stay tuned for next week to see if those goals happen, and stay tuned.